Today's lesson is slopes of lines. There are 4 different types of slopes, and slope is defined as the steepness of a line. So the steepness is referenced from the x-axis, and slope is referenced as rise divided by run, change in y divided by change in x, or y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So I read a graph like I read a textbook. So I read from left to right. And if on the right I am higher than on the left, I have a positive slope. If on the right I am lower than the left, then I have a negative slope. When I have a horizontal line, I have a 0 slope. And when I have a vertical line, I have an undefined slope. And in my calculator, I'll see the word error. Okay, so let's find some slope first from a graph. When I'm finding slope from a graph, I use the rise divided by run reference. So you can use either point on the crosshairs. I like to just start at the one on the left. So rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going up. So that is plus 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to the right, so that is plus 5. So rise divided by run. When I simplify, I get 1. I always simplify my fractions. Let's try number 2. So this time my rise is 1, 2, 3. When I go down, that is negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I said 3 and wrote a 5 minus 3. And this is plus 6, so minus 3 plus 6. When I simplify, my slope, negative 3 divided by positive 6 is negative a half. Okay, this time this is a vertical line. So it doesn't matter if I start at the top or the bottom. My rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I started at the top and went down, so that'd be negative. Negative 5. And I'm not going right or left any, so that is 0. So I cannot divide by 0, so we say the slope is undefined. So I have an undefined slope for a vertical line. So this is kind of a special case here. The next one, I have a horizontal line. So this time my rise is 0 and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 divided by 4 is still 0. So my slope is 0 for a horizontal line. So that's my other special case. All right, let's find slope from some coordinates. So when I'm finding slope from coordinates, I usually use the formula y2 minus y1 equals x2 minus x1. So I'm going to label my points. Point number 1 is x1, y1, and point number 2 is x2, y2. So substituting into my equation, y2 is negative 2 minus y1, which is 4, divided by 1 minus 1. So I get negative 6 divided by 0. Anything divided by 0 is undefined. So my slope is, So my slope is undefined. So slope is undefined. When my slope is undefined, I know I have a vertical line. Okay, let's try again. x1, y1, x2, y2. If it helps, draw and say 0, minus 1. 0, minus 1. And 6, minus negative 1. 6, minus negative 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 6 minus a 1 is 6 plus 1, which is 7. So this is my slope. I'm going to let you try the next two. You want to stop the video and see how you do. All right, so I'm going to use 0 minus 4 and 6 minus 1. I get negative 4 divided by 5 is my slope. Last one, how'd you do on that one? 1 minus 4 and negative 1 minus 1. So negative 3 divided by negative 2. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and that's my slope. All right. The symbol for parallel lines looks like this, or it looks like this. And by definition, in a coordinate plane, two non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, on the other hand, in a coordinate plane, two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if and only if the product of their slopes is negative 1. So perpendicular slopes are referred to as opposite reciprocals. So that means I am flipping what's in my numerator and my denominator and changing the sign. So opposite, change the sign. Reciprocal means I'm switching the numerator and the denominator. All right, so let's do a couple examples. Some opposite reciprocals. So opposite means plus to minus or minus to plus, and reciprocals means switch what's in the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so number 9. If I have my slope is 5/8, so right now it's assumed to be positive because I have no sign, so my opposite reciprocal will be negative. And I'm going to switch what's in the numerator and the denominator. Number 10, I'm starting out negative, so my opposite reciprocal will be positive, and then 7/4. When I do not have a denominator, that's assumed to be over 1. So I have positive 2, so negative 1/2 is my opposite reciprocal. Okay, when I have a 0 slope, this is a horizontal line. So perpendicular is going to be a vertical line, so my slope is undefined. Okay, so I want to use the slopes to decide if my lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So if I check with the slope of line AB, 6 minus 3 is 3, and 2 minus negative 2 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3, and 3 minus negative 1 is 4. So these, since my slopes are the same, then my conclusion is my lines are parallel. Okay. When the slopes are the same, my lines are parallel. Let's try my next example. 6 minus 8 is -2. -2 minus a -1 is 2 plus 1, which is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus a -1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So when I'm looking at these, they are not equal. So not the same, none. Not the same. So then they are not parallel. They are not opposite reciprocals. So they are not perpendicular. So these are neither. I'm going to have you try the last one. I'll pause the video and see what you get. 4 minus 3 is 1. -1 minus 2 is -3. 6 minus 3 is 3. And -4 minus a -5 is really plus. So -4 plus 5 is 1. So looking at my two slopes, this one is negative, this one is positive. Well, first of all, they're not the same. So I know they're not parallel. But I have one negative and one positive, and these are opposite reciprocals. So these are perpendicular. Okay.